So guys, do you think PewDiePie has autism? Let's discuss it. Hey guys, welcome back to the Aspie World. I'm Dan. I have Asperger's syndrome, ADHD, OCD and dyslexia. I make weekly videos on this type of content, so if you're new around here and you want to learn more, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you're watching on Facebook, make sure to like and follow this page for daily videos. Hey guys, I'll just be discussing some of the things that I found quite interesting about Felix, or PewDiePie as we all know him on the internet, and why I think that he may be on the autism spectrum, and yeah, let's get into that discussion. So, PewDiePie and Felix is a huge creator. He's the biggest creator on the platform. If anybody doesn't know, he has like something like 85 million subscribers on YouTube. So if you don't know who PewDiePie is, please leave me a comment down below and tell me where on earth the rock is that you're living under, because he is like the biggest YouTuber on the planet. But no, seriously guys, let me know in the comments below if you're interested in anything I'm talking about in here, and if you have any take on the fact of the autism and PewDiePie, the whole thing. So I was watching PewDiePie. I watched a few of his videos. I think he's really funny, and he has some outrageously funny videos. He was made famous originally by the fact that he made gaming videos. He was a gamer, and he made his own game called like The Legend of the Bro Fist and all kinds of stuff. But he streamed games on YouTube, became bigger, started vlogging, did all kinds of other cool stuff, and now he does kind of like abstract news videos on YouTube, gossip and stuff like that. Really funny guy. Anyway, his name is Felix, and he lives here in the UK in Brighton, but he's from Sweden. Now, something that is really interesting is me and my girlfriend Naomi, who is a specialist. She basically has a first degree honours in childhood studies and development, specifically in autism, which is, you know, why we get on. So basically we were watching Felix's videos and she said, whoa, is he on the spectrum? I said, I don't know. And I enjoy his content, but I didn't know if he was on the spectrum or not. But then this is what makes me think that he is on the spectrum. So straight off the bat, PewDiePie is a gamer, obsessed with games, even releases his own games, like I said, Legend of the Bro Fist. I think there's another app he released, another game. And the funny thing about it is that people with autism are super into games. They're obsessed with gaming because of the way that our brains are wired, you know. Like my favorite game ever is like Pokemon Red for the Game Boy. I know it's like super old, but like Pokemon is life, yo. So PewDiePie loves gaming. Secondly, the guy literally is a recluse. Him and his girlfriend live in a house in Brighton, and he's very recluse. You never see him outside, never goes to parties, doesn't go to like YouTube conventions, doesn't go to any conventions. You never see him at like huge big events, which leads me to believe that he does have anxiety and like social anxiety. And this is very common with people on the autism spectrum. Now, PewDiePie also displays some autistic traits within two things. His voice is very odd.
Let's watch some. Yeah? Watch till the end of the video for a surprise.
So people with an autism spectrum condition sometimes have unusual ways of talking to try and be like trying to fit in or try to find out what is the appropriate way to talk, you know, and they can learn different things, like learning from movies. A lot of people with autism spectrum conditions have slight American accents, even though they're nowhere near America. I myself are included in this. A lot of people think I am American, but actually I'm from the UK. I'm British, and I have a UK accent, but there's probably an American tinge there because of my Asperger's syndrome. Now, PewDiePie also has this unusual voice he like puts on almost, and it's an unusual one. But Naomi, my partner, identified this and said that a lot of the kids that she deals with and a lot of people she knows actually with autism spectrum conditions have this kind of like unusual voice pattern that presents itself in a certain way. Now, PewDiePie also has a very monotonal voice, so he's very monotonal. It's not very, his voice isn't very exciting, and he seems like he's trying his best to talk as normal as possible on camera when he's talking on camera. Now, another thing is that I did a quick Google, and I'm not the only person who thought that PewDiePie may have an autism spectrum condition. In actual fact, a bunch of people said that PewDiePie has an autism spectrum condition, and they even go as far as asking him questions. And somebody tweeted him asking if he had an autism spectrum condition, but he didn't ever reply. But I did find that somebody did ask him that on Twitter. Now, the cool thing is, I think it's cool if he does have autism, and I think it'd be awesome for the community if they knew he did have autism, but you know, some people don't want to identify with that. Now, PewDiePie, not only having the monotonal thing and the squeaky voice and stuff like that, he also seems like a very anxious person. He seems very kind of, he doesn't know how to appropriately talk to people in videos. He has got in trouble before for saying the wrong things in a video. I think on his channel he used some words that were very controversial, and I think it was deemed as racist as well, and he did some other stuff, and he's not really thinking before he does those stuff, kind of like I did in the video I was talking about. Jake Paul did the same thing, doesn't think before he does those things, he just does it and doesn't realize the consequence. Not having like a boundary, a barrier, a self-filter, because I myself, having autism, have this issue with filters. Like, I'll meet somebody, I'll say like the most bizarre things to them, and everyone's like, Dan, you can't say that to that person, and like, what on earth are you doing? Like, how can you even say that? You know, people always think that I'm kind of like, I say the wrong things and I get awkward stuff, and I can't, you know, there's boundaries and stuff that you have to learn to say. Now, I feel like PewDiePie relates to that and a lot of the controversy that surrounded him and his career. Now, look, I'm no psychologist, I'm just a person with autism, and I see that it reflects itself in other people, and I always find like for like. Like, I love watching autistic creators. I love things like Minecraft, you know, it was created by somebody with autism. I love Pokemon, created by somebody with autism. I love like Power Rangers. A bunch of people on the autism spectrum like Power Rangers. You know, I have a degree in chemistry, and they revolve around those things that are drawn to people with autism because of our brains working in a similar way. We're gonna think somewhat similar. Now, this leads me to believe that PewDiePie may potentially be on the spectrum. I'm not gonna diagnose him on the internet because I'm not like a super weirdo that's gonna do that, but I'm also gonna put that question to you thinking, hey, you know, a bunch of you guys who watch this channel, if you're not already new to this channel, if you're you know, a long-time subscriber, you'll know yourself like how autistic people are, what the characteristics of autism, how it presents itself in people, what kind of people have autism, and you know, you see those hallmarks, and to me, PewDiePie is just like a classic example of this. You know, he's very reclusive, does videos on his own, doesn't really do collaboration videos. Like I said, he seems like a super anxious person, seems like he doesn't know much social conventions, doesn't know when to stop, doesn't know that barrier, what's right or wrong to say in a social convention, what's going to get you in trouble, what's not. This is why he gets in trouble, similar to the Pauls in that respect. But at the end of the day, it's not down to me to diagnose somebody, it's down to them to kind of like, you know, either go look for a diagnosis or be happy with the fact they don't have a diagnosis, or even if they're not on the spectrum. I just thought I wanted to bring up this discussion so I can have a discussion with you guys, and I'd love to know your thoughts, because like, it fascinates me. It fascinates me to see if people in the media have an autism spectrum condition and nobody knows about it, or nobody's talking about it. So please, if you can just leave me a comment in the comment section below, let me know what you guys thought of this video, and if you guys think that PewDiePie has an autism spectrum condition, or if you've noticed this yourself, because you might be like, hey Dan, I noticed that PewDiePie, you know, has autism like 2 or 3 years ago, or hey Dan, this article talks about it where PewDiePie discusses autism. And so I just like to know. I mean, you know, there's the guy who created Minecraft as well. He's said to have autism, and I seen a video where he was on a panel somewhere in a Minecraft convention, and some kid went up there and said, hey, you know, do you have autism? And they kind of shut the panel down. They said, I'm not going to answer that question. And obviously it hit home and hit a nerve, and some people don't want to address that publicly, some people don't want to address it, you know, in front of their audience base, and that's absolutely fine if you want to do that. And I just feel like maybe PewDiePie does feel that he relates to the autism community, but doesn't want to like publicly disclose it because of the way that people may judge him, you know, because there is a lot of judgment in people with autism when you tell somebody you have an autism spectrum condition. And this is the reason this channel exists, to try and like get rid of all that horrible stigma. Anyway guys, I'm repping the merch, link is in the description below if you're interested, and below this video that you'll see this merch. So guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, watch the videos each side of me here if you may be interested, and I will see you in the next video guys. Peace.